Conservatives are trying to take away no-fault divorce, making it harder for divorce to happen, which is super dangerous for women, obviously if you're in a dire situation, an abusive situation, but also just in general. Women initiate 70% of divorces, and as we know, there's a rise of single, lonely men. We see as women gain more money and more agency over their lives, their choices surrounding men are different. And we cannot go back in history to a time when women just don't have choice and have discernment. And while the government continues, and I think the general culture continues to hound women for sticking to their standards, and they're trying to re-put on that control, which could never work. Like, say they took away no-fault divorce. Women would just stop getting married. Women are smart. And that's the thing that I'm like, when are people just going to understand? Women are smart, and when they have agency, they're going to make their own choices. Period. There's no law. Like, I mean, they can keep trying. They can keep trying to put laws on women to limit their control. But at the end of the day, women are smart. Women have brains. They're not going to get married if you say that they can't get divorced. They don't entertain men who do not meet their standards. And I also kind of wanted to touch on this like AI piece, because I've also been thinking about like, with this digital age, not just like dating apps. Yes, dating apps for sure. The access that everybody has within one another is crazy, right? And it's more than it should be. And even when we're talking about like the thread of why I hate, or when you secretly hate your girlfriend on Twitter, those men generally actually should not have access to you. These types of men that their voices get shot out into the megaverse and into the zeitgeist about how they feel about women. These broke incels on the internet going, blah, 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 women should be this, women should be that. What happens when you hate her? These are not like stand-up guys that you're probably going to go meet at a community thing. They stay in their hole generally. And I think a lot of them have access to the world and the verbiage and the ideas that they send out. They're accessing us in a way that they shouldn't be. Not to say that like men weren't like that before, but I'm saying the like lowest troll echelon of like incels in the bunker have way more access to touching our brains than they would in the past. Do you kind of get what I'm saying? And so they think everybody has an opinion. These broke men have all these opinions on what happens when girls want their money that they've never had and don't know how to get. They're so worried about things that literally have nothing to do with them because they're down in their little creepy bunker looking at red pill stuff. Do you kind of get what I'm saying? I know that wasn't clear. I'm just saying I think a lot of these little rats like don't actually, they like exist, but they don't really exist. And they're like having access to spaces and chat rooms and people that they never would if it weren't for the internet. And I think that's really warped a lot of men's sense of what is going on and our sense of what is going on in the world, because these incels are so loud. They are so loud with their Twitter threads and their this and their that. And it's like, if they did not have a phone, they would not have a voice in this conversation. I mean, and like many of us, I guess, but I don't know. I'm done.